There is a quiet tragedy that destroys more lives than failure ever could. It is not a lack of intelligence, it is not bad luck, it is not a lack of opportunity, it is the inability to command oneself. A person may conquer cities, earn wealth, and receive endless praise, yet remain a slave to comfort, distraction, and impulse. The greatest prison has no walls. It is the mind that refuses discipline. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. Though he ruled the greatest empire on earth, his hardest battle was never against enemies beyond Rome. It was against the weaknesses within himself. Every morning he reminded himself that comfort would tempt him, emotions would distract him, and excuses would whisper for one more day. Yet he rose, not because he felt motivated, because discipline had become his nature. If you wish to become unshakable in a chaotic world, you must learn the same lesson. Today, we will uncover how Stoics build unbreakable discipline, not through force, but through mastery of the soul. Because the strongest person is never the loudest. It is the one who always keeps the promises they make to themselves. Most people wait until they feel ready. The Stoic never does. Feelings are like weather. They change every hour. If your actions depend on emotions, your life becomes as unstable as the wind. Marcus Aurelius wrote that at dawn, when your body begs for sleep, remind yourself, "I am rising to do the work of a human being." Notice what he did not say. He never asked whether he wanted to. Duty came before desire. This single shift changes everything. Discipline is not winning one great battle. It is winning thousands of tiny ones no one else ever sees. Every time you resist procrastination, every time you choose growth instead of comfort, every time you act despite reluctance, you strengthen the ruler within you. Your character is not built by extraordinary moments. It is built by ordinary choices repeated every day. The person who always follows comfort slowly loses control over life. The one who follows virtue gains freedom, because discipline is not punishment. It is liberation. The chains of comfort are invisible until they become impossible to break. The Stoic breaks them early, before they become permanent. Marcus Aurelius understood a truth that many spend their entire lives avoiding. No enemy is more dangerous than an undisciplined mind. Most people believe discipline is about controlling their actions. The Stoic knew it begins much earlier. It begins with controlling thought. Every action is born from an idea. Every habit begins with a single permission. I'll do it tomorrow. Just this once. I deserve a break. These words seem harmless, but repeated often enough, they become the architect of a weak character. Marcus Aurelius constantly observed his own mind. Whenever laziness appeared, he questioned it. Whenever anger arose, he examined it. Whenever fear whispered, he challenged it. He refused to let his first impulse become his final decision. This is the Stoic difference. Between stimulus and action lies a moment of choice. That moment is where discipline is forged. The undisciplined person obeys every impulse. The disciplined person examines every impulse. One becomes a servant, the other becomes a master. Your mind will always offer excuses that sound reasonable. It will tell you you're too tired, too busy, too stressed, too unlucky. But the Stoic asks only one question. Is this excuse making me stronger or weaker? If the answer is weaker, it is rejected immediately. Not tomorrow, now, because every excuse accepted today becomes a habit tomorrow, and habits eventually become destiny. The disciplined person is not free because life is easy. They are free because their decisions are no longer controlled by passing emotions. When the mind obeys reason instead of impulse, discipline stops feeling like a struggle. It becomes your identity. And once discipline becomes who you are, consistency is no longer something you force. It is simply how you live. The greatest victories are rarely seen. The world applauds the athlete lifting the trophy. It praises the leader standing before thousands. It admires the artist whose work changes lives. but no one witnesses the countless mornings they chose discipline over comfort. The Stoics understood that greatness is built in private. Long before the world sees your success, your character is being shaped in silence. Marcus Aurelius wrote not for fame, but to remind himself how easily the mind could drift from virtue. Even an emperor needed daily correction. What does that tell us? That discipline is never a destination, it is a practice. Each sunrise offers a new test. Will you do what is right or what is easy? Most people lose these battles because they believe no one is watching. The Stoic remembers that someone is always watching. Your own conscience. You cannot deceive it. You cannot bargain with it. Every promise you break to yourself weakens your self-respect. Every promise you keep strengthens it. This is why discipline creates confidence, not because success comes quickly, but because you begin to trust yourself. When you say you will rise early, you rise. When you say you will train, you train. When you say you will remain calm, you remain calm. Little by little, your words and your actions become one. That unity is power. The disciplined person no longer wastes energy arguing with themselves. They simply act. And while others wait for the perfect mood, the Stoic quietly moves forward, day after day, step after step, until what once seemed impossible becomes ordinary. This is how mountains are climbed, not in a single leap, but through thousands of disciplined steps no one else notices. And in those invisible victories, an unbreakable character is born. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid discomfort. The Stoic walks toward it. Not because suffering is desirable, but because growth has never existed without it. Marcus Aurelius saw pain differently. He did not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" He asked, "What is this trying to teach me?" This question transforms hardship from an enemy into a mentor. Every difficult task strengthens your patience. Every temptation resisted sharpens your character. Every setback endured expands your endurance. The body grows stronger by meeting resistance. So does the soul. Imagine a sword that is never placed in the fire. It remains soft, unable to withstand battle. Your character is no different. Comfort leaves it dull. Difficulty tempers it. This is why Stoics never feared challenging days. They welcomed them as opportunities to practice virtue. When others complained about obstacles, the Stoic saw training. When others sought shortcuts, the Stoic embraced the long road. For they understood that the easy path often leads to a difficult life, while the difficult path leads to a life of strength. Every moment you choose discipline over pleasure, you reshape yourself. You become less dependent on comfort, less controlled by desire, less shaken by adversity. Eventually, pain loses its power to intimidate you, not because it disappears, but because you have become greater than it. This is the hidden reward of discipline. It does more than help you achieve your goals. It transforms the person pursuing them. And once your character is transformed, no setback, failure, or hardship can take away what you have become. That is why the Stoics valued discipline above comfort. Because comfort fades, character remains. In the end, discipline is not about waking early. It is not about working longer. It is not about denying yourself every pleasure. These are only the outward signs. True discipline is something far deeper. It is the quiet decision to let reason govern your life instead of impulse. Marcus Aurelius never promised an easy existence. He promised something greater, that no circumstance could rob you of your character unless you surrendered it yourself. This is why the disciplined person remains calm when others panic. They continue when others quit. They stand firm when others drift wherever comfort leads. Their strength was not built in moments of success. It was built in ordinary mornings, in unseen sacrifices, in the countless decisions to do what was right instead of what was pleasant. Over time, these small victories become a way of being. Discipline is no longer something they practice. It becomes who they are. Then something remarkable happens. The temptations that once controlled you lose their voice. The distractions that once stole your attention lose their power. The fears that once stopped you become nothing more than passing thoughts. You realize the battle was never against the world, it was always within yourself. And once you have conquered yourself, very little outside you can truly defeat you. So tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself one question. What promise have I been breaking to myself? Do not answer with guilt, answer with action. Tomorrow, keep that one promise, then keep it again the next day and the next. Do not seek perfection, seek consistency. For empires are not built in a single day, neither is character. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that every day was another opportunity to live according to virtue. The same opportunity stands before you now, not next week, not when motivation returns, today. Rise before your excuses, master your thoughts before they master you. Choose virtue over comfort. Choose action over delay. Choose discipline again and again until it becomes your nature. For the person who rules themselves needs no crown. They have already achieved the greatest victory a human being can attain. They have become unconquerable. If Marcus Aurelius could leave you with one final lesson, it would not be this. Become extraordinary. It would be this. Be faithful to what this moment requires. Do not concern yourself with next year. Do not be overwhelmed by the mountain ahead. The future is built by the way you use this single day. Discipline is not created by one heroic effort. It is created by returning to what is right, over and over again. When you fail, return. When you grow tired, return. When doubt fills your mind, return. Not because you are perfect, but because virtue is a path, not a destination. There will be mornings when your body feels heavy, days when your progress seems invisible, weeks when you question whether your efforts matter. Remember this, the oak tree does not become mighty overnight. The river carves through stone not with violence, but with persistence. So too does discipline shape the human soul. Each act of self-control is a stone laid in the foundation of your character. One stone seems insignificant, 1,000 become a fortress. And one day you will notice something remarkable. The things that once demanded all your willpower will become effortless. You will no longer chase discipline. You will embody it. People will call you strong. They will admire your consistency. They will wonder what secret transformed your life. But you will know the truth. There was no secret, only countless quiet decisions made when no one was watching. That is the Stoic way. Not to seek applause, not to seek comfort, not even to seek success, but to become a person whose actions are guided by reason, whose spirit remains steady in hardship, and whose character cannot be corrupted by ease. So leave this moment with one resolve. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for perfect circumstances. Begin with the next right action, then repeat it tomorrow and the day after that. For the one who masters themselves has already conquered the only kingdom that truly matters. If these teachings helped you strengthen your mind, remember to subscribe and join us for more timeless wisdom from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and the Stoics. Until next time, guard your mind, honor your character, and let every day become another step toward the person you were meant to become.